Welcome back to Around the Block every day at 11 a.m. live here on K4 Plus. We're glad you're watching. Did you know that in Tulsa they have a Greenwood survivor tree like our Oklahoma City bombing survivor tree? I didn't know that this existed.
I didn't either, but I think it's super cool. This
Yeah.
story is awesome.
So the sad thing is right now that it's dying and they're trying to
Mhm.
preserve it, but it's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And so what they're hoping to do is come up with enough money, $150,000. I didn't
Mhm.
realize it would take that much money to save a tree, but the future is to just continue to have this in the fund to continually preserve the tree for years and years to come.
Mhm.
So it is in Tulsa's Greenwood district. Of course, the race massacres happened there in 1921, but now it's an American elm. Members of the community are coming together to honor its legacy, trying to keep it alive, doing whatever they can to raise these funds. The project director says the tree will be renamed from the Race Massacre tree to the Greenwood Legacy tree because it was there before that tragic day. And she says, we want to acknowledge that it's seen more than just that moment. It's seen over 100 years of the community's life, and we want to honor that. They're also hoping to come away with, how we have saplings of the Oklahoma City survivor tree that are then given away each year,
Mhm.
and people plant them in their yards. It's a
Yeah.
really neat thing. Or at schools, museums across
Mhm.
the state, wherever it's produced. I want to say thousands at this point, and which is a really neat thing. And they also want to do the same for the soon-to-be Greenwood Legacy tree. So
That's really
pretty neat
cool.
project.
And I think this is fantastic. And $150,000 is, it sounds like a lot, but it's probably really not for all the arbor care and just the continued growth and nurture of this tree.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder too, how long can American elm trees actually live, even with help?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
It's over 100 years old now, and it's like, okay, is there an
Can't they live
expiration
forever?
date? Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
it-
you'd think at some point the root system would give out, or I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure,
Not my skill set. I'm
but
not an
I'm glad
arborist.
that they're trying. It's a very, very important symbolic tree for the Tulsa
Yeah.
area for sure, and for Oklahoma. When I was I don't really go to preschool. Yeah, I guess I did. I went to some preschools as a little kid, but mainly it was like Mother's Day out,
Mhm.
things like that. We would color, we would learn about sharing, and we would play toys with
Yeah.
each other, that kind of thing. Did you ever go to preschool?
So yes, I went to like a Mother's Day out. It would have been a preschool, and I do remember it. Yeah.
I also remember one teacher smacking me on the hand and making me sit down because I was getting up, and I've never forgotten that. So my mom pulled me out of that daycare.
Sure.
She was not a nice lady. Anyway, so I love what this Metro preschool is doing
Mhm.
for these preschoolers that they have. This is at Primrose School
Oh,
of
yeah.
West Hefner Point and Primrose School of Yukon. So Primrose are teaching their preschoolers the value of giving back at
Mhm.
such an early age and not receiving anything in return. I think that is fantastic. So they've come up with this lemonade stand.
That's cute.
Those kids are so cute.
Oh man,
Oh, and they're 4 and 5 years old. They look so
that's
much
so great.
I think they look older than that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, see those toys?
Mhm.
On top of this lemonade stand, they've also raised money to and had toy drives and so forth too,
Okay.
to give to different charities. And that's what they're doing with this lemonade stand. They're 3 and 4 year olds actually. 3 and 4 year olds raised nearly $400 from their lemonade stand, all for a good cause. The money's going to the Cavett Kids Foundation, which offers camps and other programs completely free of charge to kids with chronic and life-threatening illnesses.
Wow.
That's their lemonade stand, and
That's
that
cool.
alone is huge. And then they collected and donated 176 toys that we saw to Fostering Our Village for children in foster care. So Primrose again wants to teach preschoolers early about the benefits of helping others, and that is a fantastic skill set to have, starting them young.
That's so cute, and it's just really because they'll remember this experience of giving back and just running the lemonade stand, but also the joy that they receive in being able to help others. What a cool project
Yeah,
for
if we can
that
go back to
school.
that video, I want to show one more thing. I liked what it said in the background.
Where
We'll see it here eventually. But this goes beyond learning about shapes and
Mhm.
colors. We believe who children
yeah.
become is as important as what they know.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
who they become. So they're nurturing them to teach them
Hmm.
about helping others, and that's going to last them a lifetime. If you can
Yeah.
learn that early on, you could create someone with a servant's heart
Hmm.
that just wants to serve others.
Great story. I loved that one.
Did you ever have a lemonade stand growing up?
Oh, yes. I remember peddling lemonade to the neighbors often. I had a lemonade stand, I had a cookie business, I had a neighborhood newspaper. I shook my
A
neighbors down.
neighborhood
Yeah.
newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
And you wrote it?
You bet. On my little typewriter.
How old were you?
Probably 12, and I'd go to Kinko's and print off the issues, the paper. I'd print off the paper at Kinko's and put it in the boxes. I hustled a lot of money as
Yeah,
a young child.
that is great. And then
Yeah,
you ended up you working for a
I
newspaper,
know.
right?
Yeah, I did.
Plus radio. So
And now
that's super
TV.
cool.
Yeah,
So did you charge for the newsletter?
absolutely. There was, yes, and there was even ads. They could advertise whatever.
Wow. 12 years old.
Neighbor of the month, yard of the month.
How
I would
fun.
write down when people were speeding.
Would you write down like their tag and car description?
No, but I would let people know to slow down. There were children in the neighborhood.
What did your parents think of this newsletter?
I think they thought it was, this was the third business at this point that I had cycled through the neighborhood because the
Mhm.
first one was the cookie empire business. And the deal was on the cookie business, my parents did not know that we had decided to have a cookie business until we had sold thousands of dollars of cookies. I vividly
Oh.
remember my caboodle. You remember having a
Oh yeah,
caboodle?
caboodle for makeup.
Stacked with $5,000 in cash because I had hit up this entire Edmond neighborhood for cookie sales.
How much did you charge?
I don't even remember, but it was an empire, and my parents had to bake all the cookies. I don't really remember baking the cookies, but I know my mom baked
What
so
did you
many
do with the money?
cookies.
Did you save it for school or would you spend it on fun stuff
I
or?
don't even remember. I don't even, I think we even lost the money at one
Oh
point.
no.
Like, well, there were 4 siblings, so and we all were a year apart in age.
So you all split it. You all were in this together?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm sure there was a knockdown drag out and the caboodle of cash.
Yeah. And you don't remember how much you charged per cookie?
I don't.
How much did you charge for your newsletter?
I mean, we're talking about the 90s. That was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't know if it'd be like 50 cents or
Oh, it was definitely probably like $15 range per month. They weren't getting
$15.
to get this nice.
Local
How do you think I made so much
newspaper.
money?
$15 in the 90s.
Yeah.
Did you have like a subscription service?
Yes, every month they got this wonderful neighborhood paper.
Okay, and it's a once a month deal, not weekly.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that was a pricey paper, but I'm
I
so
was a
glad that
neighborhood hustler.
yeah, that the neighbors were cool with it and supported you. I think that's
They
really
did.
neat.
That's the fun part. They really got into it. Did they? I really believe they thought we'll never get this back. Like this girl's taken our $15 and run, but just that the neighbors supported you, just like lemonade sales, the Primrose Childcare. That's just really awesome of the daycare community
Yeah.
supporting those kiddos in that sale.
Yeah. I remember I had one lemonade stand growing up, and I
Yeah.
never had another one because I was humiliated that I didn't know how to make change yet. And so this guy gave me $1
Yeah.
for 10-cent lemonade, and I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, my whole dollar for
So-
me.
And then his parents came over and they were like, "Oh, honey, he gave you $1, so you need to give him 90."
90
And I was like,
cents.
"I don't know what
You
I'm
don't know how to do that.
I know."
90.
And so they I think I was probably 5.
Yeah.
And so his parents went through my change and I was like,
Oh man.
"Are they taking more?"
Yeah, they're taking more. They take the whole dollar back.
I know. Thanks for the free lemonade.
Yeah.
But that too, like you said your mom baked cookies for you
Mhm,
to sell.
yeah.
My mom made that lemonade for
Oh, I
me to
bet.
sell.
Yeah.
And then I got to keep it just
Mhm.
keep whatever I made from that. We had it at a garage sale. So
Yeah.
speaking of, it's time for me to have a garage sale.
Oh.
Don't you hate those?
Yes.
I have so
I've
much to
actually
get
never
rid
had
of.
one as an adult.
Okay, I
Yes.
had one. The last one was in 2016.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm never doing this again.
No.
And here I am. But it's almost 10 years later, and it's like I need to get rid of all of this junk in our house that well, it's not junk, it's just we no longer use it. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
just get rid of things that we no longer use.
I just donate it. If I am
I
not willing
always
to
do that.
Facebook Marketplace it and take that effort, then I'm just dragging it to
I'm
the
not doing
Goodwill.
that. First of all, I don't want that's too much. People don't show up when they say they will.
That's true.
They
Yes.
now you get nothing for garage sale prices, but
Yeah.
we donate at least twice a
Oh,
year,
totally. Yeah.
clothes and shoes and all of these things. But I have like tons of like different housewares and decor
Mhm.
that I want to get rid of. Whatever doesn't sell, of course, we'll
Yeah.
donate. We were just at Goodwill, speaking of, and just buying more stuff that I don't
Mhm.
need. I love
I do
thrifting.
too. Me too.
It's so fun, and I found this really cool old dish that was etched and painted,
Ooh.
hand painted from 1973 by an
Yeah.
Italian artist, and it's super cool.
Yeah.
And it was like $7, and I'm like,
That's really cool.
why am I buying this when I'm
'Cause
trying
you
to get
need
rid
it.
of stuff?
That's what I do though. I take my bag to the Goodwill, but then I go into shop after I've
Exactly,
done my
exactly.
job. My husband hates it.
Yeah, and I've had Salvation Army out to my house so many
Yeah.
times because they'll come and pick up all of the things that you want to
Mhm.
donate, which is super convenient.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. And then you get a coupon from Goodwill, not from
Right. Right.
Salvation
Right.
Army, and so you go back in and use
Mhm.
the coupon.
Totally do.
It's a cycle.
It is.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, holy cow, we talked yesterday about our fear of cruise ships. We're going to
Mhm.
talk about our fear of any kind of boats after this video. You'll see it next.